Hey everyone, welcome back to the IWEP Network, or if it's your first time, welcome hanging out with us. Thank you so much for choosing this podcast, and feedback is always welcome. So make sure to check the links below for all social media links, audio and video versions of this show, and merch. We look forward to hearing from you and hearing that feedback, and enjoy the show. We are here, Patreon episode number dose. Thank you for the one person we have live. We have a weird upshirt shot going on. No, Jen is joining us live. Thank you, Jen. Our second Patreon donator and our superstar. She's definitely our superstar.
She is.
So if you are watching this later, thank you so much for your support. And we love you guys tremendously. So this is a Patreon episode. We're just going to kind of riff and talk and have some fun. We have some cool stories. We're three of us are going to be reading out of the Weird Pennsylvania book, which I'm going to be ordering as well soon.
Yeah, and there's I think there might be a sec. There's Weird in New Jersey, but there's Weird in New Jersey too. And I also see Weird in Massachusetts. I was thinking we could probably reach out to them guys. And there are two marks.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Now,
look
I
like
would say that it's a
Scholastic books. I
derogatory
love it.
wrestling term, but
Yeah.
they're Mark something and Mark something.
Yeah.
That do it all. So,
I like it.
but if you want the hardcover book
$1,000
for the New Jersey one,
I thought hardcover was cheaper.
no,
Paperback.
okay. So the Pennsylvania one, this is $20.
Yeah.
The
That's
hardcover
not
is
bad.
$40. So I opted for the soft cover. Now the Weird in New Jersey,
Woo.
the hardcover was $20. The paperback was $1,002
$1,000. That's all.
because there
that's
has
on
to
the
be
lottery.
something wrong with Amazon.
I was going to say, that sounds like a giant
Like,
error from Amazon.
Okay, let's say you're a rich person and you buy that one. Like, would it go through? Would it actually go through? And they say you one
100%
book for
probably.
$1,000?
Yeah.
Like what?
I want to put
Let's all
something
split it.
Yeah.
when we get our merch page back. I wanted to make a joke item where it's like a fanny pack,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
but make it like
$1,000.
like
$500.
like $500 and just and just make it as
See
you
you.
can't you can't afford this item.
I think you
See,
should go
make it a
$1,000.
meme.
On
Make it a
Kickstarter,
meme,
a lot of
though.
times, like for the comics, they do that. There's one that's like so expensive. Like for $2,000, you can write the book.
Yeah.
It's like someone actually does it. Like, oh shit.
You should do that for a $500 one, and then $1,000. You can design
Jen
this
said
fanny
I'll
pack.
buy it. She'll buy the.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I'm sure we'd find
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
She would be the fanny pack owner.
Thanks,
Would you
Jen.
like to design it, Jen?
I was gonna
For
say, you can design it.
If you can send to me in 300 DPI, it's all yours.
$1,000.
Yeah, so we are having some issues with the merch. The T. All right, so just kind of you pay people on the Patreon will know this more because they're the more people who are into it. But the logos on Teespring look good, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not the greatest, but they look good.
Yeah.
T Public is a little cheaper.
They're
It has
trash.
and it works really nice, but the quality is not there. And we're trying to figure out how we can up the image quality. And everything I'm doing that I'm researching the YouTube tutorials and how to do it. It's not working. It's nice to have a $13 shirt. We don't make as much on T Public, but it's just like it looked nicer to put everything in there,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
easier to upload. Teespring
But
is a fucking nightmare.
but they give you 5 minutes to check out.
Yeah.
And then it all goes away.
Buy it.
Why can't there be a plate where it just takes the best of both worlds and just says, screw the
Right.
rest of this shit? Like, here you
So,
go,
we
everybody.
We may have found
Are
that
we making
too.
a website?
I hope.
Is that one?
Printfly.
Yeah.
Or Printiful is another one I'm looking at.
Gamefly.
Where you can, Printful, you can actually do like drawstring bags. It has a lot of really
Gamefly.
cool items. Now the thing is too is they do hats and other cool things, but when they put on a hat, it's
I was
embroidered.
going to say.
That's
So-
that's pricey.
None.
Yeah.
It's not pricey, but it's still reasonable prices.
Uh-huh.
But none of our logos are eligible for because there's too many colors
Oh,
and the
Oh.
detail.
yeah.
So we would need to do like the font where it just says "Truth Behind Illusion."
yeah,
and make-
a real basic.
Which would still be cool.
Yeah, and make just like the Bang and Beers ones with the we'd have to get rid of the splash
Mhm.
and just make one
Like a
solid
white
logo,
background.
like one color, and it would be able to be improved. So
Yeah.
we would have to go in and do. And I know you're busy right now with like theater and everything going on, so it's
Just
gonna
started
take.
a new jab.
Yeah, she started a new job, so it's gonna take time because we have 2 logo makers, and so we have to go back and redo the logos we have and make them better quality and fix them all. So it's going to take time for the merch to come back, but we are planning on it coming back. Just as of right now, I'd rather not people spend their money and not get good quality.
Also, I wouldn't consider myself a logo maker. I make words that look good.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know.
That's
I
the thing.
can't draw things.
Yeah.
You're a typographist.
I'm,
Yeah.
A
There you go.
typogrist.
I make the shit out of
Yeah.
I draw stick people. Ooh.
Yeah.
Hell
Oh, she
yeah.
said mine from T Public was good. I don't know if she's holding something up for us or not.
It looks
Yeah, how's
like
the
it looks like
Oh,
resolution?
it's
she
a fish
is.
tank.
How
I'm looking at a fish tank, I think.
Aw.
She's just showing in her house. Like let's
So
bring her.
cute.
Let's just bring it up in our Patreon
Yeah, cribs.
episode. Is just checking out
Giving
what
us a
Jen's
tour.
doing.
Giving us a tour.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, well, we'll see when I get mine.
Oh, she's showing us a fish tank.
No.
Sorry, we missed some stuff that Jen does over there. Where she's doing her own thing over there, and we miss it sometimes. There's a big
But
fish.
look at that fish. Is that Dory? I think that looks like that's Dory fish.
Is there any news or anything pop culture related or anything going on in the world today in spookiness that you guys have come across?
Spookiness.
I mean, I've been having crazy fucking paranormal activity in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So last week, the beginning of last week, it started when I was crashing at my parents' place because of the weather. And I stay in my old bedroom and there's like a blow up mattress and whatnot. And so I'm in there. I haven't been in my room for the whole time since I was there. And I walk in and I go to fall asleep. And as I fall asleep, I'm laying there and I hear crashing in my the closet in my bedroom.
Mm.
And it sounded like something was on like the top shelf and it literally not just like fell off her, it was like it was like
Okay, yeah.
like it was like
A bunch of shit.
a bunch of shit. And I was just like, whoa. So then like the dog started barking and I was like, whoa. So I walked out and then I was just like, okay, Tori, get your shit together. I was like, you do this. So then I walked in and I opened up and something had taken shoes that were in like there's the little hanging thing that you can like stick your shoes in.
Yeah.
Something had taken the shoes not just like out of like the little holder, but like one was over here and like one was over here.
Like if it fell down, it wouldn't fall and go.
Yeah, it would have like let's say like they
If
were
it-
like
the hanger broke and it just fell.
yeah, let's say the hanger broke and it just fell, or let's just say that I did like whoever put them in there last, which they were shoes that I haven't worn in like a year, like kind of like maybe precariously, like
Mhm.
and they like spilled out. No, this is like I could hear like the toom of like the metal like shelves and whatnot, like it pulled it out and whatever.
Hmm.
So then a couple days before this, I was driving home and I could on the back way to my apartment. I always just look out of habit because a lot of the times this happens in my apartment where it's just like there's a light. I always see a light, the room that faces the back, whatever. The light was on, and like sometimes that happens. So I was just like, okay. So then I actually pulled into my driveway.
No, go ahead.
Oh.
She's saying let me in real quick.
Oh.
She wants to show us something, but
Oh, okay.
I don't want to interrupt your story.
Fiend.
I texted Heidi actually, and I was just kind of like, all right, like this happens before. I'm pretty sure it's paranormal activity, but it's a little weird. So like, I'm just going to keep you on standby in case like there's an intruder. So then I walk up and like, as usual, I go in and like, I open up the door and like the light is off. So it's just like, cause my apartment's fucking haunted. So
Yeah.
what's that?
Let's go over our EVPs and then whatever.
I've done that before. So
Yeah.
like, I know what's in there. It's fine.
All right, Jen. Let's put Jen in. Let's bring Jen in real quick. See what she's going to show us.
Hi, Jen.
Hey.
guys.
Hey,
Hey.
All right.
where's hat?
So it's Alex's. He put it on my head. I've been drinking some beers. Lisa was drinking some beers too. Say hi to Lisa.
Hey.
Hi, Lisa.
She's like, oh my god, I'm on camera right now. Hi,
They're cool. They're cool. All right. So
Jen. There's 5 million people watching. What do you have to say?
Lots of people.
I'm at Lisa's boyfriend's house, and he has this. Can you see this thing in this tank?
Is that a snake?
No, it's
Oh, it's a gator.
a caiman.
Oh, I love him.
I can't make it out from where I'm at.
Yeah.
Have it bite something.
Oh God.
I'll leave it
No,
alone.
not my fingers.
How many pounds of force does it have? In its
Yeah. What's the PSI on that?
Yeah, what's the PSI in that bite?
He's really cool. I saw him in fish earlier.
Now, what do you do when it gets too big? You just throw it in the
You get a bigger
you
cage.
throw it in the Schuylkill River.
But Did you see this fish tank though? It's really freaking cool. That's Captain. Can we see
Put the
Captain?
gator in there.
Captain.
Put the gator in there.
Fight to the
Jesus
death.
Christ. I think the king would
Captain.
win.
He's gonna bite you.
Hey, look at that.
Ah, it's all right. He's cool. But he has seahorses upstairs. It's really cool. I thought you guys enjoyed that.
Oh,
'cause,
that's cool.
well,
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jen.
Yeah, we love
Appreciate
seeing
it.
animals.
do you want to see the
Animals really fine.
seahorses?
Yeah.
Sure, well-
Oh, I want to see a seahorse.
Let me see the seahorse.
I would love to see
Come
a
with me.
seahorse real quick.
You pay
All
for
right,
this
Lisa,
content. It's all yours. Oh.
Yes. Getting every penny worth.
What's the Pokemon seahorse? Horsey?
Horsey.
Horsey,
Horsey, yeah.
Horsey, and then
Seadra.
Seadra,
Seadra, yeah.
yes.
Pedro.
Did you name your seahorses after the Pokemon?
Well, that's our friends. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm
this
sorry.
is- what is okay? Sparky.
We named them right now.
Sparky.
That's their names. We just renamed them.
Tom and Bob.
You have to
Bob,
really see
Larry.
Remy's back there.
Yeah, I don't see. I just see
That's all.
grass.
Yeah, Remy's back there. All right. It's really hard to do it with the camera.
That's what she said.
Hey.
Ooh, good Office reference.
I nailed it.
Love The Office.
Yeah, that office.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
He's
yet?
gonna watch.
No,
He's next
no.
to wait till
Better
we do
get
our
on
The
that.
other
show.
one is Remy's back there, and there's this little fish in here. His name is Scoot. Oh my god, he's adorable.
Aw,
Where's Scoot?
Scoot.
Oh,
Oh,
Scoot.
he's
or
hiding
Scoop?
somewhere, but
Oh yeah, I heard Scoot.
Scoot.
Is it Scoot or
He's
Scoop?
It's Poot.
Scoot. He's like this big. He's super adorable. I don't know where he's at.
Are you sure it's not just a seahorse's poop floating around?
No, I'm pretty sure it's not the seahorse's poop floating around. Oh, he's in the rock. But anyway, that's really cool though.
No, it looks
Yeah,
it
that
looks
is
cool.
awesome.
A lot of salt water going on in there.
I'm always fascinated when I come here. Oh no, there's Scoot. Scoot, he's on the rock. Crap. Man.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
You can't see him. So little. Come here, Scoot, Scoot.
No, I don't see it.
No, he's really cute though.
He's not gonna come. He's a fish.
Yeah.
That's true. That's probably true.
He's not gonna come. He's a fish.
Kinda
He's
like
run
my
away.
wife.
Like
Didn't-
all this really cool
Nothing.
stuff.
Your wife's a
Like,
fish?
No, she's not gonna come.
I know.
Is that another office thing?
No.
No, he's just
It's
throwing
fine.
out.
Me and my red light joke.
you do it. Lisa's gonna work it.
All right.
You see him on the rock?
No.
Yeah, it's
No,
pretty hard to-
yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to see, but it's pretty.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Wait,
Hold
what
on.
happened?
I'm trying to make her.
Well, there's the seahorse. Okay. Oh, you're done.
Oh, they lost me?
Yeah.
Wait, am I the only one in the show? Oh,
All you.
God.
It's all you.
No, we were trying to make it bigger so we could see.
That's what she said.
Hey.
Yeah. Bring out those Office
Hey.
references.
We're gonna go back to
Oh.
talking
I thought
spooky
you
stuff.
guys would enjoy that.
Yeah, that was fun.
thanks, Jen.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Jen.
thank you.
And what was your friend's name?
Lisa.
Yeah.
Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for showing us your fish.
Wait, the last thing I have to show.
Oh, well, one more thing.
This. Wait, look at this TV behind me.
Is that a TV or a projector screen?
A projector screen, but you should. Oh my goodness, it's wild.
We're gonna come over and watch porn on it.
Oh my. But
Just really big buttholes everywhere.
really bad porn. Like the worst 70s stuff.
Yeah.
Yes,
Something where no one's getting turned on.
And we just we're gonna eat.
It's awful.
Are you drinking the hobo?
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's a good beer.
Oh, I don't know about that.
The dirty hobo.
Why would you want to do that?
All right, we'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks, Jen.
Bye.
Jen's getting lit. And hanging
Love
out with
it.
us. And
I
hanging out with
love
us. Yeah. Where were we? Oh, you're
I just finished one at the.
spooky apartment.
I mean, there's more, but go ahead. Yeah, it's fine.
No, go ahead.
You can finish your story.
And then
You can borrow
okay,
mine when
and
you're
then
bored.
like after like a day or two after the shoe incident had happened.
The shoe.
Yeah, the
I like
shoe
that.
incident had happened. I had sleep paralysis.
Oh my.
Ooh.
And it was one of those things where it's like, now sleep paralysis isn't a lot of things don't bother me. Like the shoe thing, just because it was loud and whatnot scared me. The fact that it happened didn't scare me because it was like, okay, whatever. It's probably paranormal. That doesn't bother me. So I'm laying in bed, and it's one of those things where it's like it was sleep paralysis where my body couldn't move and I could like barely like open my eyes too. And so I'm laying there, and like I heard somebody walking up the steps to come into my bedroom. And I was thinking in my head, as soon as it happened, I was just like, is my fucking landlord here? And I was just like, I was laying there, and like because I couldn't open my eyes to see who it was. And like I saw like the figure, like the what is it? The silhouette like of my hallway. Yeah. Stop in my door frame, and I felt it like go like, oh. And I was just like, and then literally in my head, I was like, well, if it's my landlord, he sees I'm sleeping now. Like he's seen me. And then like he just kind of like walked over past my bed into like to the window, and then just stopped and stared at me. And it was one of those things where I was laying there, I was like, well, I can't even open my eyes, so there's nothing much I could do here. And I made myself go back to sleep. So
But did he have a hat?
no, he did not have a hat.
It wasn't the hat man.
It was just a man. But it's like that's just like that, and there's another like spirit that I feel in my apartment a lot that just it was like, then I woke up the next morning, I was like, oh, it was that guy.
Heidi watched a horror movie. This is not related at all, but kind of is, where this girl thought she was having
story.
she thought she was having sleep paralysis in the movie, and what was happening is her landlord had like false walls and like all this like
that's terrifying.
Like behind the walls, he had like walkway spaces, and then when she would go to bed at night, he would sneak in, and on her foot, he would inject her.
That.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
and then
gross.
then do things.
Oh.
And he would do it like it was a whole movie Heidi watched. I was like, this is kind of fucking creepy.
No,
kind of. That's incredibly creepy.
Yeah, it is. I'm not watching that
I'll have
one.
to find out what the name of the movie
is. That the prequel to American Mary?
Hold on. I don't know.
So what happens at the end? Does he kill her or does she kill him?
I think she kills him. I think she tricks him to like thinking that she's in her thing and she's not.
What if?
And I have one more quick paranormal.
What if?
Good.
What if the hat man?
What's that?
And then also just in my other, it was like a day or two after that, I was just laying in bed one afternoon, just hanging out, and my Roomba that was unplugged started going off.
DJ Roomba.
Yeah, DJ Roomba. Like it started doing like do 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 do, and like the other like room, and it said something, and I was just like, bitch. And like I walked in, and it was just like it was obviously unplugged, and then it was off. And it was just I did that like twice for the rest of the night. Then so shit just always happened at my apartment. I have plenty of stories for Patreon. But yeah, that's what happened this week.
Yeah.
Is your apartment an older building?
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, yeah, it's just an old building in Pottsville, so it's like it's just there's been probably a couple people that died in there. So,
anyone else have any like current event stuff or news or
kind of?
What's up?
I think my house is like more and more that there's something there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Nikolai.
Because like the other day, it was like last week. I'm sitting.
It might be the underground wires.
Maybe it's the underground wires. But I was in my room watching TV, and my brother has a certain way of knocking on the door, so it's like just one like just enough to let you know that like somebody's at the door kind of thing, but not to like interrupt you. So I'm sitting there watching something, and I hear that knock, and I'm like, oh, his brother at the door. So I get up, open it, nobody's there. They were all downstairs watching WandaVision. They had no idea that there's any kind of knock. But I don't know. I've had random things happen in the past. Like I was going up to bed one night. This was a long time ago. And at the bottom of my steps, there's a like the glass on the door. You can see the steps behind you. And I was going to turn off the light. And in the reflection, I see somebody sitting at the top of the steps. I turn around. There's obviously nothing there. But it's just like random things that like, I don't know. I don't know if it's anything or not, but it was just weird to have a knock on my door expecting to find someone and be like, no, there's nobody.
I had something similar to that. My parents' house is haunted, I believe, or something's going on there in my parents' old house. Oh, my parents' house that they live in now. To the point where not only have I had experiences, but my mom has experiences. My little cousins who sleep over there have seen and experienced things, and we all experience this like this almost same exact thing. And Heidi has experienced things like it's multiple people have had experiences. My friend Tony, who was he wasn't even a huge believer of ghosts, has experienced things.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of weird things has happened. So I can do like once episode, like sneak one of them at my parents' house. But here's this one I have. But come home. I believe at the time I'm 20, maybe 20, 19, 20 around there. I'm intoxicated. Shouldn't have been, but I was. But I wasn't
disproven.
Right. So I want to put that out there because I do want it to for people who are skeptics to say like, well, maybe you were drunk, and and trust me, I've thought of that as well. But I came home, but I wasn't to the point. I've been drunk enough times in my life that I know when I'm aware and not aware. I was very aware what was going on. I had a really nice buzz. So I come home, I get all my stuff. I'm sitting there. I'm literally sitting still in my jacket, and I'm looking at my computer, and the computer. I'm playing on my computer, and the door opens, and I look over the door, and I thought it was my brother, and I can see, like, I can't make out facial expressions, but I can see eyes. And I can kind of see that someone's looking at me through the slit of the door.
Oh, I just got a mental picture. That's scary.
Yeah, and I'm looking, and we're staring at each other, and I'm like, "What?" And I thought it was my brother, and I'm like, "Are you coming in or not?" Right. So then I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I get up, and it feel like this happened for a few minutes, where I'm just like looking, like, "What the like? What do you want, Austin?"
Oh,
so I go, I walk over to the door, and as I get as I get closer, I realize that whatever's looking at me isn't small. It's actually larger,
and it's bending down,
and it's hunched down, looking at me. Because you can, like, you can see, you can just tell it was larger than it. Because when I got closer, it slammed. Like it only had so much to go, but it had enough force to slam. And one thing I fucking hate when a door gets, like, when I, like, down my bedroom door, you see it slammed. But I, like, as soon, like, I was close enough to grab the door handle as it was about to slam, and it slammed the door. And as soon as I ripped the door handle open. So when the way my parents' house was set up in my bedroom, there's the attic door right here. Straight my eye vision is the bathroom door, and then to, like, right before the bathroom is where you would go downstairs. Now that leads to another hallway, another thing that goes to a bedroom, and then my dad's room, my grandmother's room, and the steps to go downstairs. As I rip the door open, the attic door slams shut. Something runs, like a shadow runs into the bathroom and pulls the door closed behind it. And then something ran downstairs. Like, it was like three things.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
So I'm like, I'm not thinking ghost. I'm thinking something's in the house.
Yeah.
So I said, well, the attic, he has nowhere to run.
Yeah.
So I ran to the bathroom, and the door's locked. I know how to pick the lock. So I picked the lock. No one's in the bathroom. There's only one window to get in and out. And it's one of those twist runs where you have to, but it's not, there's no, like, way to pop the screen and get out. So whatever's in the bathroom is no longer in the bathroom. The door's locked. And I started yelling, like, what the fuck? And I'm like screaming, what the fuck? And I at the time we had a lady living with us, and she comes walking up the stairs. I go, did anyone run downstairs? She goes, all I hear is you fucking slamming doors up here. What are you doing? And I was like, it wasn't me. Like, I swear to God, like, and I tried to explain it, and then I just, like, I'm not even gonna go down this road. I'm fucking, so I just went back in my room and called it a day. But that was one of many experiences.
I could not imagine the idea of just thinking that somebody's, like, fucking with you, and then realizing that something is just, like, hunched over.
It was
like,
more. It was more like if it was. I'm gonna try to reenact it, but it was more like
reenact.
It was more like it was like the doors here, and instead of standing and looking through the way, it was like this.
Oh, okay.
Like it was bent down like this.
Like being a creeper, or like scared of you?
I don't know. But it didn't have, like, different colored eyes. It was like normal white human eyes. Yeah. But, like,
so it was a human then.
Yeah, but most of the things that people experience in my parents' house is like this. I don't want to say a shadow man, but it's definitely a shadowish, and it's a very large, tall shadow. Because like, you'll be walking and you'll see him at the bottom of the stairs. Or my little cousin, who she always sleeps over my mom's house. She'll tell all the time. She goes, and she'll sleep downstairs. She's fucking brave as fuck. Like like that kind of stuff. She'll YouTube and Google, like, the shadow kids or the black-eyed kids. Like, she's super into that stuff. And she's like, oh, Nanny, there was the shadow guy was in your kitchen again last night making noise.
Aww.
And she'll be like, what? She's like, yeah, I couldn't sleep. I was watching him. He was in the kitchen. Like, she's not afraid of him. Like, she has seen him numerous times.
And that's the thing. There's a common misconception about, like, shadow figures, because there's two different sides people always see. They either see, like, the, like, light, like they see white lights or blue lights, or they see, like, the shadow figures. And shadow figures aren't necessarily, like, evil or bad. It just has to do with how light travels. So it's like they're, like, beings like angels or, like, whatever, that they emit energy to give to you to heal you, as opposed to, like, black figures where it's more like the color spectrum, where it's like they take in the energy. So it could just be like a random person that passed away that isn't, like, as enlightened. So it's just like you just see a shadow because it's just a person that's just taking in energy.
Oh, that's very interesting. I didn't know that.
Almost like it's
so that's cool that she's not afraid. She's not afraid of it, which just kind of just says that she's like, it could just be like a couple people that are just hanging out.
Or it's just the one replaying images. It's just someone walking in and not doing anything.
Yeah,
They
That's
just
crazy
leave.
though.
I don't want to know. I don't know if it's a guy who lived in the house previously or what. But whatever it is, really likes the basement. And the basement we moved in was like a workshop. Like so that person was down there, used to
Aw.
always work on things and do things. Like
Mhm.
there's a light, like a bench light,
Mm-hmm.
and the only way that thing is on is if it's plugged in. And we would leave the lights, like we would leave and then come back home, and the basement light would always be on.
Mm.
Yeah, my mom has like, and a lot of times that like most of the occurrences that people had in this house, in my parents' house, is like you'll be sitting there, and and like I said, at one point in time we had like almost every time at my parents' house there was more than 5 people living there at one time,
Mhm.
which is kind of like my mom, my dad, my brother, myself is 4, and then my grandmother's been there for a long time. At one point, Heidi lived there. Then we had this lady that was living there. Then in high school, remove Heidi and add this kid that used to live with us there. And he was very tall. So a lot of times people thought his name was Joe. A lot of people thought it was Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Poor
would,
Joe.
yeah.
I didn't
So, like-
fucking do anything.
Like the one, and the way my parents' house is set up is there's 2 front doors, but the only way to get from one front door around the house to the other, like there's not a, like the wall divides the house straight down the middle, and then you go into the kitchen, and then the kitchen branches off the house in 2 paths.
Okay.
And then so then that
So
that
it was 2 singles made
Like
into a
half a
double.
double?
Yeah, and then the basement's all one open like
Double
not,
made into a
not
single.
all one open basement, but there's different rooms.
Okay.
And then when there's only one set of stairs that go up from the first side of the house, and then when you go up, it opens up into 2 open rooms with no doors, and that's what we use as like my living room as a thing, and there was like another bedroom that was Austin's bedroom. He didn't have a door, and that
Okay.
led to my dad's bedroom in the back that had a door, my bedroom in the other front of the house that had a door, my grandmother's bedroom that was right at the top of stairs to the right, and then the bathroom, what was down a small hallway that had its own bathroom. 7 people, 1 bathroom. That was a fucking awesome
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
Nice.
holy shit.
Oh,
And that was the thing too. Like we didn't have a situation where it may sound weird. Sorry if it sounds strange, but we had like a no lock door policy in the house, because if you were in the shower, just pull the curtain closed, and if someone had to pee,
Yeah.
you only have 1 bathroom.
Well, if you only have 1 bathroom, it's kind
Yeah,
of a
if
little
you
more
have, yeah,
understandable.
seriously,
Yeah.
like it is a family type situation.
Yeah,
It's
and
like
I mean,
whatever.
I had to explain it to Heidi and stuff. So Heidi had a story where, and I'm sure I'll have her come and tell it, but so she was in the shower, no lock door policy. She thought my gram came in to use the bathroom, closed the door behind her, locked it. She heard it lock, and then she was done in the shower, and no one left the bathroom. And she's like, "Hey, I'm ready to get out. Like, are you done in there?" And no one's answering her. And she's like, "All right, I'm done here. I want to leave." And she peeked the shower curtain open, and nobody was in the bathroom. But she clearly heard the door open, then close, then lock,
Hmm.
and somebody in the bathroom with her.
Yeah.
that's creepy.
Yeah.
That's really
Shit.
creepy.
Yeah, but like my mom had situations where she would be sitting in the living room at a time, like you come down the stairs and the TV is facing the stairs, like it's on the wall of the stairs, and then you have to walk by or like walk in front of the TV, and then get into the kitchen to go to the other side of the house. So she was sitting in the kitchen, this chair, and it may sound stupid, like how do you not notice? But when you have so many people walking around the house all the times, it just comes second nature. She's watching TV, seeing a large man walk downstairs, assuming it was this Joe guy at that time, walk in front of her, in front of the TV, walk into the kitchen, and then go in the other room. And she said she watched TV for a while and she didn't think nothing of it. And she's like, "I'm going to bed." And she's like, "It's weird. Like Joe has stuff to do in the morning. Why is he up so fucking late?" So she walked in the kitchen and then walked into the other side of the house where we had a computer in that back room, and Joe wasn't there.
That's creepy.
So she
Shit,
said
yeah.
someone walked by like
Yeah.
in front of the TV
Mhm.
and everything, like, but she was so focused on what she was watching, she never took notice of who it was.
Oh, wow.
it's
yeah.
probably that person that was creeping. That
Yeah.
was really
Now,
The
is
really
there-
tall person.
Was
Yeah.
there more activity in one side of the house than the other?
No, it's like a general. It's just the house in general.
Okay, because it was 2 singles. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
could have happened on one side, not the other.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
because my bedroom would be on the other side of the house. The TV, the living room, and the bathroom. Actually, the bathroom would be on the same side as my bedroom, and then it varies. I think both. I think you would say if you split the house down into one
Mhm.
house, it would be equal amongst the 2. Now,
Okay.
I never felt threatened or scared or anything.
That's good.
Heidi told stories too. We were sitting she'd be sitting in the room, and we had the dresser with the latch, like the door knocker,
Mhm.
Swinger, yeah.
this what they swing,
Mhm.
and she'd be sitting there, and all of a sudden the latches would just start tapping, like somebody was playing with them.
Mm.
She had that happen a few times. There was one time she went to go start the shower, and when she reached to start the water, it started for her. Like something turned it before she turned it.
Oh, they wanted to help her, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, let me get that for
So
you.
like I said, like there's been multiple people who had experience. Like even my dad, who was like trying to play it off for a while, was like, no, every now and then I catch stuff out of the corner of my eye. But nobody ever feel like threatens or they don't feel like there's something like they're in harm or anything.
Yeah,
but
well, that's good.
it definitely feels like you're sharing space with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like communal living.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's definitely interesting.
Old house
That's
or
awesome.
It's pretty old. It used to be a card shop
really?
Interesting.
and then it was turned into a double home.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was an original house got torn out and this one got built. You
Yeah.
know?
Well,
It's a corner house in Monty City. So usually sometimes the way it worked is every corner house in the
It's a
town
store,
was a store or
Yeah.
some type of business.
especially back in the day.
and that was a very big like coal town too.
Yeah.
So I can see
Monty City
all
has
kinds of
4 red
crazy-
lights and at one point in time had probably triple the population it has now because they
Yes.
just cram people in to
Yeah,
work
the
in the
50s,
mines. Yeah.
So I can see that having all kinds of crazy stories up there.
It was interesting. Yeah. It's definitely a thing. Maybe one episode we'll do. I'll bring stuff to my parents' house so we can do an episode at my parents' house.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be
Could
so
we see the
fun.
garden?
The garden.
The garden that you helped build.
Oh, that was the house that burned down. I mean, I can show you that house. too.
Wow, great job,
I
Nikolai.
can show that, but there's nothing to see.
My
So
house,
sad.
that house is
So
empty. That
sad.
house is an empty lot, but I can show you where the prayer garden was. Where my house used to
Yeah.
be. Yeah, I'll do
I'd
that.
like to see
I'll give
that.
you a tour of Monty
Where
City.
you played with the wrestler guys.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you a
Until
tour.
Teresa came to town.
Yeah.
This is Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, and I'm on that porch. I'm having SummerSlam. That's what I told her. Yeah. So I mean, that's just. We'll kind of count that for the story, I guess. Does anyone have any other like? I know you guys never really had any experiences or anything.
I have that belief that when I come, everything just stops.
Yeah.
Like we ain't doing nothing for him. Because it never
You're like
happens.
this fucking guy.
I walk in,
See ya.
I have the paladin order and everything just leaves. It was like,
Well, I had a weird, not weird, but like Alex came over. Now Alex's grandmother is suffering from dementia and stuff, and we had a conversation about it. I won't go too into it, but there was a situation where, like I said, I'm not trying to say I'm clairvoyant or I have a thing, but I've had people.
But you do.
People told me I have and stuff like that. Like, so when I was talking to her, and I don't want to sound like I'm not trying to make it supernatural, trying to make something it's not, because that's not my intention here. But she always hits on me. That's like the joke. She's always hitting on
I
me.
love that.
So when I opened the
ladies
van
are
door
so
to say
funny.
hi to her, I was like, "How you doing?"
Yeah.
And she looked at me and she goes, "I'm better now."
whoa.
But it's funny because she's an elderly
That's
lady.
so funny.
But when she said it, I told Alex, I said, I didn't want to tell you this. I didn't want you to think I was weird. But when I physically seen her say it, I felt like I seen her
Back in the day.
like I still seen her as the old
Uh-huh.
lady, but like her facial expressions and the way she conveyed it,
Mhm.
I seen her as the age she thinks she was in
Mhm.
a way.
Okay.
That happens a lot.
Because
it's a bleed for like when it comes to dementia.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's what it is. I'm not assuming anything about his grandmother, but it's like that'll happen a lot where the
Yeah.
soul will literally it's a
like
thing.
even the way she answered me, she didn't answer like an elderly lady. She
Yeah.
answered like a teenage girl who was flirting with a boy.
Mhm.
And like
Isn't that incredible?
I physically
Yeah.
seen her as
Yeah.
who she was there, but the way she conveyed it, I was like, it was like a like a WandaVision thing was there. Like there was like a veil. I was like, oh, I received it differently. And then
Yeah.
like I kind of told him the other night, goes, yeah, that definitely like that happens to me even sometimes.
Mhm.
That's different.
Like fucking, that's got to be a hard situation when you live with
Yeah.
someone who's going through that. My heart's out
Yeah.
to you, buddy.
Yeah, and he's such
Yeah,
a good guy.
that's tough.
Yeah.
But that kind of shit's so cool.
Speaking of experiences, I haven't had a whole lot, but I do think there's something going on in my house too, because I hear people like walking in my house when it's just
Mhm.
me and or my friend or me and my husband. Mark doesn't believe in ghosts. I shared that. He thinks it's all ridiculous, doesn't like ghosts. In fact, he lives
When we were
far.
there and like, what do you think about your haunted house? He was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yes.
fuck the haunted house.
He definitely is not a fan.
I will say this: when I was there, and I'm not saying that like I'm the end all be all, but I didn't notice anything. Like there's times where I walk in people's house, I'm like, oh, there's some fucking
Yeah, you don't feel any any
yeah, I
negative
didn't,
thing or
and I'm not
anything
saying
like
that like
Yeah.
saying that your house has nothing, but I did
Mhm.
nothing like stood out to me. Like there's been times where I walk in people's houses, like, yeah, you got some shit here. They're like, how do you know? And I was
Yeah.
like, it just fucking feels different here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then their house doesn't have to be spooky. Like it doesn't have to be like old or run down looking.
No.
It's just your way. Like, all right, we're here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
think like with your energy and like the dog's energy too, it's just kind of like it has just like that very like light and like fresh, like thing. So it's like it's not like because it's the balance of energy. So it's like there probably is something going on, but we probably don't perceive it because the energy is so clean and fresh when you walk in. Because that's what I got when I first walked into your house. It was just clean and fresh, and it was inviting and warm.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad
Sure.
because we definitely try to make sure everybody feels that
I
way
felt
when they're
that the
there.
jail was like that. I don't know. I just felt very
The
welcoming.
dungeon is like that for me.
I
Anyway.
was like, this feels very nice and cozy.
Yeah.
Like I know it's a jail and it was probably terrible to stay there, but still, that's how I felt there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You won't hear it all the time, but it's usually actually when everybody's like pretty quiet, which is very rare because you've all met my dogs, so that's very rare. Especially
Well, I mean, when you guys are it's just you in the house, they settle down. They're not always going crazy.
well, that's not necessarily true for Arwen. Not always true for Arwen, but the rest. And then Arwen gets going, then Leif gets going. The Chihuahuas are usually chill, but there was a time Mark doesn't believe any, but as I just said, and as you guys heard, does not believe one word of it, and he will come up with all kinds of things. But yeah, when it was just me and my one friend, my friend Erica, it was just us. We were having one of our Mario Party gatherings, and you could clearly hear somebody walking upstairs. And I said, "Did you hear that?" It was just her and I and my dogs, and all my dogs are with us downstairs as we were having our Mario Party. I'm like, "Did you hear that, Erica?" She's like, "Oh, it's just an old house creaking." I said, "Oh no!" I said,
I don't fucking think so.
I said, "Oh no!" I said, "That's somebody clearly walking." And then she went back and forth with me. But you could hear somebody walking. It was probably 5:30, 6 o'clock at night. But usually I shared with you guys before I've told the story. It's usually like 9:30 at night. And when I'm in the shower, somebody whistling.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, but not in a creepy way. It's like
That's
a
happened to
happy,
me before. That's weird.
It's like a happy whistle. Like
Oh, cute. Like
Like-
whistle while you work.
So they're having a good time in the shower.
it better be a happy whistle, or maybe I'm just in denial. But it's usually like then, yeah, and it's like it's like in the room next to the bathroom, not necessarily in the bathroom. It's in the entertainment room that you guys have seen upstairs.
The story with my friend Tony, who was a non-believer. We were sitting at the time. We had two computers. So when you first walk in the front, the one,
fancy pants.
one was my dad's. You weren't allowed to use it, and then we had the family one.
Yeah, one for porn,
Yeah.
one for not porn.
We only had one computer growing up.
Funny you say that. Yeah. I'll let you figure out which one had the porn on. And it wasn't the family one. Dad was killing it.
No.
Dad had Pornhub before Pornhub. He had it categorized and everything. He was a beast.
Wow.
Yeah, back in the day. Sorry, Dad. Let's have a beer about it.
Bookmarks and everything.
Yeah.
That's why the internet was invented. Porn.
Absolutely. It's the gateway drug.
Yeah.
So we're at the computer and we're watching stuff, music videos on YouTube. And my buddy's like, "Yo, I thought you said no one's home." I said, "No one is home." He goes, "Turn the music off." And we stopped the music. And I'm like, "You happy?" And he's like, "Just wait." Nothing. So I turn the music back on. He's like, "Turn it back on, turn it back off." So I turn it off. And you hear like in the back, like
Oh, someone's washing dishes or something.
the sink was running and
wow.
somebody was like, and dishes are, I'm like, he goes, "Someone's washing dishes." And I go, "Tony, no one's home." And he goes, "Do you hear that?" I go, "Now that you mention, I do." So we walk in, he didn't walk in the kitchen. He stayed right the fuck. He goes, "Go look." And I go look. And you hear the water running, the dishes banging. I get to like 3 steps away from the kitchen and it stops. I turn and I go, "No one's washing dishes." And he goes, "Bye." And he just, he was literally right by the door and just got up from the seat and walked right out of the house. Like, he was like, "See you later." Like, just left.
That's like, why be afraid of that?
It's not.
He's
like,
also
Like, I know nature says I should be afraid because I don't understand.
He's
but,
also
No.
very his parents are both pastors. He grew up in the church, and
like,
so
but that's not
he's just like, "Not for me."
Like, imagine you're an astronaut and you see a creature in space, like, and you're a scientist. Let's
Take it
run
out.
away and not learn about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Kind of like on the
even
Kryptonite podcast.
even if it's a little tiny like mouse creature, who knows what it does? But like, I don't understand why fear is always the option in all these stories.
Too many horror
Because
movies.
it's bred, and I feel like a part of it is like it's the human nature of survival, and then the other part is just like bred into us of just like be afraid of things you don't understand.
Yeah, and if you're not afraid, shoot it.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
always
kill it,
shoot, yeah.
kill it,
It's
and then
either-
we'll do.
or
can I
it's-
kill it or should I run from it?
Yeah,
Or should I
Yeah.
enslave it?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's like if everyone had that. I'm afraid of it. Nobody would ever found nothing. We wouldn't even know
Maybe that's why ghosts
what a
don't fuck with
bird
you. They're
is.
like, "He's not gonna be afraid."
Yeah, like
Fuck it.
probably, yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know why does nothing.
I'm gonna
ever
hit this
happen?
guy up. He'll fucking
know?
I scream. So that's
Why does
that's what
nothing happen in the
That's why
jail?
I'm here.
At Gettysburg,
Yeah.
I don't see nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
I will say this: when we went to the prison,
Mhm.
when I was in high school, when I was in the basement, I definitely felt unwelcome. I didn't feel it this time, but also I felt like maybe it was a larger crowd, so maybe energy was all over the place. But I didn't feel like. I almost felt like I was back. Like there's been times where I've been in the prison too, and we weren't taking tours, and I felt like sorrow or upsetness. Like I felt like sad because obviously like the heritage and like the people who were in prison because
just general
they
people
were
in jail.
nothing but Irishmen. You know what I mean? But when we went there for the night of that tour, and it also could be because I was very, very stressed. Like I wanted everything to go perfectly.
Yeah.
But I didn't like. It was like numb to me. Like I was more like excited I was there, but not on a ghostly level whatsoever. Like a ghost probably could have walked up and kissed me, and I would have thought it was just like I would have.
Like, okay, cool. I got to do the audio
Like
levels.
oh my god, I gotta make sure we don't get echo because
you were too focused. Yeah, I didn't feel a damn thing. I wanted to. I liked it. It was fun. I didn't feel anything.
I always just feel the same thing when I go in there, which is just like I go in there and like when I was with that lately, I was like, can I go in here by myself? Can I close the door? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay.
Weirdo.
Yeah, right. And so like I do that and I'll stand in there, I'll just like sit and I'll just like kind of like extend my aura, and it's literally just like a rush of like men that are like prisoners or whatnot that just like they feel like you're going to like you're ready to reach out, and it's just like and it's just overwhelming, and it's just like just like okay,
I'm excited.
Now.
I'm excited to see what we're able to do or what we're going to experience next time.
Yeah,
because he has reached back out and said like, I still have you on my phone. I'm still very excited.
Yeah, and the mom was very excited.
Yeah, so
so fun.
hopefully this is a yearly
Get
thing.
to see the women's wing.
Yeah,
but it's not that big.
Hopefully COVID's not a thing by that time.
Yeah.
You guys get to go with us this time.
Yeah.
That's so
I
fun,
can't
you guys.
wait.
I actually did an investigation there before.
Really?
Yeah, with the Tamaka Paranormal Society. Yeah.
That's
I used
so
to be a member of
cool.
that. I don't know whatever happened to them.
Yeah.
And they let you guys in and do stuff,
Yeah.
which is shocking because they're usually not.
I mean, it
about
wasn't
that.
televised.
Yeah, but I'm saying they usually don't let people in to do that kind of stuff.
Oh, well,
Because that was the big thing with the grandfather. He's like, respect it. I don't want people. I mean, he let us in as high school killers, kids too.
I killed
Let in
someone.
some high school killers.
Killed some kids in high school.
High school
I
killers.
took one of them. Some
Just saying.
bitch.
Yeah.
Right there. Right there.
But the only other thing I have for like modern day news is kind of pop culture related. The Medium video game. I haven't played it yet.
Oh, yeah,
amazing.
It looks good. Is it? It's only the new Xbox, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you have to. It's only on Xbox and it's on Game Pass, but you can only play it on the newer system, so the Xbox X or the S.
Yes.
And I have some people played it and they said they weren't super into it.
Yeah, I heard that the reviews have not been so hot. Not terrible, but
It got an 8
Kinda.
out of 10 on IGN.
oh, really? Well,
That's
that's pretty
high,
good.
though.
That's a good one.
But the people on IGN are also, I think the person who reviewed it was also very into like supernatural and paranormal.
oh, okay. So that's the problem with reviews. Like if you're really into that source material, then you're gonna probably get a little bit.
If you don't know exactly what a medium's abilities are, it's like playing a Superman game and not knowing who Superman is. You're like,
Yeah.
I don't. Why do I fly?
Yeah.
You're like, so that's kind of like.
what if
that.
you have heat breath
Yeah.
or heat vision and light breath?
And then I think people, when they expect a horror game, they expect you to be able to attack back.
Okay, yeah.
And
That's why people didn't like what was the one where you're a detective and you're dead. It's not bad. You get to bad reviews.
But it's more or less solving puzzles and
Mhm.
living in the environment than actually like
It's
fighting.
not Resident Evil.
Yes, and that's kind of what the medium. You're not
Murdered
fighting.
soul suspect.
You're more or less trying to figure out what's going on
Okay,
between the two
yeah.
worlds, and I think that turned people off because it
No.
wasn't like I wasn't shooting a gun. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of people had that.
And I didn't
No, it was
shoot shit out of my hands.
Girl, why you gotta be girl? Why
Yeah.
why's girl could be dead girl?
So that I think that's what turned it off to people. But from what I heard from people, they said they really liked it.
I want to try it. I really do.
Yeah.
I think
I'll
I might try it this
definitely
week.
play
I might start it this week.
There was limited Xboxes at the extra Walmart the other day. They posted about it in the one.
Oh my god, there's so much I want to talk about for not going to high school.
Yeah, but
They're doing Xbox is doing really well. Like I think they just announced that they're outselling PS5 right now,
yeah.
which is shocking to me. But I think a big part of it is Game Pass. Because if you're like coming into the system and you're like, oh, like right now PlayStation has 2 games to Xbox has 1 technically with the medium, but you're like, I have to buy those 2 games $60 a piece. Where Xbox, I paid the $60 for the year and I get fucking 300 games on Game Pass. You know what I mean? And then like the new Halo's coming out and I get that for free. It's like I think
no argument against Game Pass.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's just like Netflix.
It's a huge game changer. It's really good. And then I think now that developers are starting to figure out between the two systems and how to utilize each system's capabilities. Like at first when the system came out, it was very pro PlayStation. Like, oh, these games are running better on the PlayStation and they're not on the Xbox. How is that? This is supposed to be the more powerful system. And then I found out like people were like, oh, it's because the developers didn't have access to the Xbox as long as they had the PlayStation. Now they're starting to figure it out. And now games are like running insanely.
Like 2 years, the games will be great.
And we're not even at the limitations of what a game can do yet. Like even people said with the Medium, they said it doesn't feel like you're playing a super next gen game yet because it's like first generation. Yeah. Really cool stuff. But that was that if you're into video games and stuff, that is some type of pop culture thing that's going on. It's the Medium video game. And what is that comic book you were talking about? The X-Files style one.
Department of Truth.
Department of Truth.
Yeah.
I was looking.
The trade is coming out.
Is that
this month or next month? It's one where if too many people believe in it, it becomes real.
Is that the one I was looking for? X-Files with Mulder and Scully, or is this a different one?
No, it's not X-Files at all. No.
This is a comic that's kind of based in the world of like cryptids and ghosts and
conspiracies. If in this world, if enough people believe in something like flat Earth, it starts to become real.
Okay.
So this Department of Truth stops things from like that from happening.
So like the Adjustment Bureau.
Yeah, and it's run by Lee Harvey Oswald because he didn't kill
Interesting.
JFK because people believe that, so that's why it was becoming real. But he
interesting.
Oh,
you would like it.
I
the
would
trade
like
comes
that.
out. The 5th issue came out last week, I believe.
Yeah,
and the trade comes out. It's $9.99, and it's all 5 issues. So I highly recommend it. I think the art sucks. It kind of fits it. I don't.
What's
like
this called again?
Department of Truth.
Department of Truth.
But the story is
Nikolai's hooked.
Yeah,
Nikolai's been buying a lot of comic books.
Yeah,
because
for
of you.
$9.99,
You've been
can't go
hooking
wrong.
him on books.
Yeah, but
this is
but
why
they
I
ship
also
books.
walked away from the show because every time he turned around and be like, this comic, that comic, and I'd have them all. I'd be like, son of a bitch, I'm running out of room.
I love
I don't
Ben
even
to
read.
Death. I love Ben to Death,
It's a
but
good
like,
book.
there's not one time that Ben ever pitched something in the show. I was like, I got to go watch or play that.
Yeah, because he wouldn't. He doesn't.
And then
sell it.
and then you and Steve would tell me about this game, and I'd be like, I need to go play that right now.
All right, so what's this called again?
Department of Truth, and it's written
Of
by
Truth.
James Tinian, who's
When
he's
you come
currently writing Batman.
really,
Yes.
when you come across it, I remember.
Yeah, it's $9.99. Get you one. It's
That's it?
fantastic. Yeah, it has like a very gritty art. Yes, that's it.
that the
CJFK.
$9.99?
When does it come out?
Pre-order now.
Scroll back up. It should say
March 2nd.
March 2nd.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I highly recommend it. I don't really care for the art, but it does fit the story. And it's they delve through like school shootings and stuff, and like what if enough people believe. And this guy named Cole something, he's like the main guy. He just gets a job there at Department of Truth, and finds out Lee Harvey Oswald runs it and stuff. And like he sees this thing, the star-faced man that like he's seen as a child, and then he finds more about it. So he's trying to find more about this, and he's like, no, you should follow this. And then it's like, oh, well, maybe Department of Truth isn't good. And then it's a lot of cool stuff. It's a very good read.
Yeah,
I have it in my cart. Ready
There you go.
There is
Highly recommend
also an X-Files comic I'm trying to find. Oh, I'll bring it actually because I have the
Yeah,
first.
please bring us. I would like to read that.
I know you would like it. Yeah, it's like
is X-Files still on Netflix?
Hulu.
Hulu. Okay.
Mhm.
I want to
'cause
start watching that. Same with
Oh,
Twin Peaks. Everyone
so
says Twin Peaks
fucking
is really
good.
good.
Yeah.
also Supernatural that you agreed to.
The thing with X, the thing
You
with
agreed to it.
But it's a hard ask for 15 seasons at an hour each.
Oh, just
What-
suck it
the
up.
thing, the
And-
thing about
And
X
20
Files for me,
episodes a season. That's a hard ass.
the thing about X Files
So
is
good,
for me
though.
is like a lot of like the majority all of the episodes, like the stories that come through are like actual things that like
Mhm.
people like me who's like a conspiracy theorist have like done research on. So it's just like when there's this like weird invisibility stuff or like blah 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 and like secret and like the underground like military and like government things, and every time like Mulder and like Scully go into things, I'm just like, when Scully gets implanted, I was just like, that's fucking Project Bluebeam. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Well,
I get so excited.
Supernatural, they have like powers as well, right?
No,
They
no,
don't.
they're just regular guys.
Well, doesn't
I mean,
one of them go to
Castiel's
hell for
the
a while?
angel.
Oh, so Castiel's an angel, yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So actually,
So I
Dean
think
gets
that's what
stuck in
turns it off for me.
purgatory. So Dean gets stuck in purgatory, but he's able to get out. So Sam gets stuck in the cage, with I don't want to ruin anything, but you should have seen it by now. So he gets stuck in the cage with Lucifer. He is the vessel for Lucifer, like the perfect vessel for Lucifer. That's a big long story.
They don't have any innate power, but stuff happens.
So the thing for me
Yes.
is most of my life that I consume now
Mhm.
is mostly like superhero related.
Okay.
So like when
it's a big
when I
thing.
want to get into like the paranormal supernatural,
Mhm.
I would lean more towards an X-Files or a Twin Peaks because it's more based in. And when I say based in reality, I don't mean in like the aspect of, because obviously it's all hearsay depending on what you believe.
X-Files
like-
is a very what if it was real take.
Like True Blood.
Yeah.
Like when I was in the True Blood, I was like, oh, this show is cool because there's still that human element with the supernatural, but then everyone became supernatural, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Like everyone's a superhero at this point. That's I think that's the only turnoff for me when it comes to supernatural.
They don't have powers though.
But like they're going to hell, and like it loses that based in reality element to me. Where
it's
like
more
breaks that fourth.
fantastical.
Yeah.
You're missing out on a good show about family.
I'm sure.
Well,
That was so cute.
if you
but
went
you're
out-
right.
Now I'm
It
less
was a joke.
interested.
Oh my god, I can't even stand it. It's so good. Oh,
Tony,
You laugh?
I can't even stand it. It's
I
like,
know, it's
oh
so
my god!
good.
If you seen the fucking Patreon with oh no, it wasn't even Patreon. It was off microphone after for Not Cool in High School, and she was reading some of the stuff on that F Hard Friday,
Oh,
and she's
God.
reading in her
Incredible.
and her little like and her
And her
fucking
sweet
sweet
voice.
voice, and she's like, what was the post?
I remember exactly.
oh, you.
I can't remember.
Put
Go
me in
ahead,
a-
Nikolai. I want to hear
wheelchair.
it.
It said, put me in a wheelchair, and her saying it, I was like, that's in the Patreon. Like we're gonna have Bree read dirty.
Bree, just read the fuck.
Like,
Friday.
Go get old penthouse forums and find the dirtiest
Yeah,
comments.
she has to read
Go,
dirty.
go to like the Lost Connections on.
Oh, yeah.
to see, like,
Oh my god, that's gonna be not gonna like Bree reads Lost Connections on our men,
what's
are like women looking for women, men looking for men.
Oh boy.
we stood FYE,
M for
remember?
M.
Yes.
All right,
Dude.
but you get to watch Supernatural then.
I will watch an episode. Yeah,
One
watched-
episode for me reading all that. You got to do more than that here. It's got to be fair.
I've
you
watched a few episodes. It was, from what I seen, it wasn't bad.
okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's kind of
It's
like
no Gilmore Girls.
kind of like what was the one where
Gilmore Girls better. You like Gilmore Girls better?
I've only seen Gilmore Girls, but I just made a joke because
I would rather watch this cup for an hour than
Yeah.
watch Gilmore Girls.
what was the one with
No,
Jennifer
you
Love
have to
Hewitt
watch it
where she
too
talked
now.
to
Both of you watch it together.
Charmed.
no
Oh, when she talked to
Charmed is
dead
good.
people. My mom liked that show. Yeah, what was that called?
Wait, who's in it?
was it Ghost Whisperer?
Jennifer Love Hewitt, and she talked like dead people.
Oh, that was
Ghost
Whisperer.
Writer.
Yeah,
Ghost Writer?
Ghost
Writer.
Whisperer or
Not
something.
the cool Ghost Writer.
Yeah,
Like writer.
Not the Flaming Skull one. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
yeah.
I that show probably wasn't.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I'm gonna sound super misogynistic, but it's like that looks like a chick show. I fucking and
It did,
Supernatural
it
looked
did.
like a chick show to me.
Actually,
So, not
let
really.
me tell you this.
Every single person who I've ever seen, like I'm obsessed with this show, has been female.
Yeah.
Well,
well,
here-
two good-looking guys. I mean,
Here's a little known
Jensen Ackles
fact.
can fucking get it.
That's right. Yes, I can. Here's a little known fact. Supernatural was actually a show designed for men.
They
Boom. Fuck you.
Well,
That's
they
right.
missed their mark.
well, I bet it was designed to be an entertaining show
Listen,
for all people.
Jennifer Love Hewitt is one of the sexiest women on the planet.
I wanna
want
watch that fucking
and
show.
not one dude watched that show.
Yeah.
But she has big boobs. Don't care.
Yeah,
That show looks
I
terrible.
don't care either. I'm still gonna picture.
But that was the history. Supernatural was intended for a mostly, not all, but mostly male audience, and it didn't work out that way.
No, it definitely didn't. It's definitely a chick show.
But hey,
It does
it
have
went
male
for
fans,
15
though.
seasons, so
Yeah.
So good, and you'll
Wow.
see why once you start watching it.
I don't think
Who
I
run
could
the world,
ever
girls?
watch any show
Exactly.
if I knew I had to watch 15 seasons, an hour piece an episode.
Just
No show at all. I don't
Just
You
like
need
to
care.
to
spread it
mentally
out.
prepare yourself.
Yeah,
like
I don't.
spread it
That's
out.
that's a hard mountain to climb.
You
Like
went
an
through nine
episode a day.
seasons of Dexter.
Yeah, that
Well,
took like a month.
Well, let me tell you
That's a
something.
hard-
I watched
Yeah.
like 10 seasons of like Supernatural in like like 2 months.
I can't.
This is when Mark worked night shift, and I had nothing to do with myself. So
I have
this is
so
what I
much.
did.
I watch so much. Like I don't realize how much TV I actually
Really?
watch because it's all when 90% of it's wrestling.
Well, yeah, my TV watching is very, very low.
Yeah,
Very low.
Mhm.
mine's wrestling.
I'm not
and
saying
then
that to say, look how
Yeah.
great I am.
I don't watch live TV. I watch
Mhm.
wrestling and
Yeah.
then I'll go on Netflix and watch stuff like
I'm
that.
basically wrestling and then YouTube videos, which is mainly comic book and wrestling related.
I just watched the Night Stalker on Netflix too.
Okay.
Oh, there's another good documentary out about something that would probably fit the show, Weird Death in the Hotel Cecil in LA.
Oh,
yeah, that's getting
yeah.
popular now because douche king of the world is doing a TV show on it.
Zach Bagans.
I'm
of-
Zach Bagans, and this is the haunted hotel.
That girl that died in the elevator or whatever.
And
Um,
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, she didn't
Lamb.
die in the elevator. She was
Yeah,
found
yeah,
dead in a
yeah.
water tank.
Yeah,
which is like that whole thing.
something
is
Lamb.
so-
Yeah, I heard the one.
Eliza.
Conspiracy talked about that. a little bit.
Elisha.
Yeah, she's Asian, so she has.
Yes.
It
That
sounds.
was that
it
video
sounds
of that
one
girl
name, but it's not
where
the-
she was like in the elevator and she kept looking at
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was
was, like,
talking to
hiding.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She kept
That,
looking out.
that should be a good topic next week.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Are you guys go with that?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
there's
can
a
do
lot.
that one.
There's
Next
a lot of
week.
things like that.
Our next episode.
Please
Yeah,
don't
we
tell
can-
me it's another week.
Yeah,
It's like
poor
4 weeks in
Nikolai.
a row.
Does anyone want to take it? 'Cause I'll do it if nobody
Yeah,
wants to.
go for it.
All
Why
right.
don't you do that?
I'll do.
And
her
there's
story.
a couple other
Is it,
like,
is it
like,
Eliza
there's-
Lamb?
Yes.
Yeah. And then there's a couple other like instances from like hotels or other places where that kind of thing happens.
Well, the Night Stalker chucked into the hotel.
Yes, he did. He
Mm.
lived there. Floor 14. He would come in covered in blood in
Oh,
his
God.
underwear and go up to his room, and they just let him do it.
I was gonna say, and nobody was like,
Didn't stop him. He
Oh,
See,
was,
that
that's-
Night Stalker.
But see,
Isn't
that goes
Yeah.
into like that whole thing and talking about like when we were talking about like the MK Ultra and whatnot and how like certain serial killers are like glorified and like the
Oh, yeah.
Mansons and like we're making
And him.
documentaries about these people and it's just like it just seems like they just let it fucking happen
Mhm.
for why?
He would come back
Yeah.
from his murders, his whole outfit covered in blood. He would strip himself at the back of this hotel, Cecil, and you'll see it covered in this documentary. He'd just throw his bloody clothes in the dumpster.
Where's the documentary located?
Netflix.
About the hotel?
Yep.
I'll watch
At
it.
the hotel, and then just walk through this hotel in his bloody underwear up to freaking
Yeah, what?
floor 14.
you would
Nobody
think-
stopped them. They thought this was okay. They thought
Unless-
this was
No.
okay. And
Unless to make it even more paranormal, he has some type of glamour or something that can control people. if
I
they
don't think he was
want.
that
I don't know.
powerful, but
I
I
mean,
will
he
say-
looks like a creep. Look
he,
at him.
he had a lot of groupies.
Yeah.
I've
He did have.
I've done some
groupies.
pretty crazy stuff in hotel room, like in the hotel itself.
do
Covered in
tell.
blood?
And no
It's
one
Patreon.
has come out.
As long
and
as you
said
pay your
a
bill, they don't
word.
give a shit.
No, like
Covered in blood.
so,
Nikolai?
no, not covered in blood. I got a black morph suit for Halloween the one year when we were on a business trip at FYE. I ran from one end of the hotel up the steps to the top floor, came down the other side of the building and everything. We were pushed in carts, going to the vending machines and stuff. Not one person said a thing. I ran into somebody's room and found them and then ran out. Not one. There was none.
Was this at Hotel Cecil in
No,
LA?
it was not. But it was
This
just
is
like
the best Western.
Well, we could do an episode on the hotel itself, but we'll start with just her story
Yeah, I don't-
first.
And
I
I-
recently listened to that. I don't know if the hotel has much.
Oh, yeah.
There's a-
Other than her.
there's
I'm
a
not
lot-
Oh
too
yes,
sure.
it
Yeah,
does.
It's,
Yes,
it's,
it does.
It's a pretty haunted hotel.
Oh,
from what
really?
They say,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yes, lots of history.
It's abandoned right now.
Oh,
it's-
nobody's in it now.
I don't think I don't think it's
Oh,
in
I thought
use.
it was still functioning.
Oh yeah, they said like it was kind of run down. And
There's a guy on
They
TikTok.
fixed it up.
Yeah, there's a guy on TikTok that which I need to start figuring out how to use this, like put this podcast on TikTok
Oh, well,
because
oh yeah,
dude,
you
Well,
should.
just ask a 14-year-old.
clips.
there's this one podcast that put a clip up of their podcast and it went viral on TikTok, and now they have like 10,000 people listening per
Wow.
episode.
are they doing it long? Or
TikTok
like
is
landscape or
magic.
portrait,
So
I
think
don't
like
know.
their videos.
Yeah. And what is their podcast about? Is it about pop music? Because I'm sure.
No, it's
Yeah.
dude, TikTok's not just about people dancing. Like
they just do it.
You-
Honest to God, before I deleted my TikTok, I had 13,000 people that followed me.
yeah,
Holy
it
shit.
is the easiest platform to hit 1 million on.
Yeah.
And people like it's crazy. And like I said, you can get like if you're into heavy metal, if you watch enough things that are catered to that
Mhm.
topic, that's the only thing you'll see on your
Oh,
TikTok.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the algorithm is very catered to what you're into.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
if
good.
you put something up there and you like make beer content or you
Mhm.
make
Then you'll see
supernatural
more of that,
content, it's going to cater your audience
yeah.
to
Oh,
you,
That's
which
probably why. Yeah. that's
why it
you
helps
get more
people
fo-
grow.
Yeah.
Because if I'm scrolling through Facebook, I see rap videos.
That's
I'm like, I
that's
don't like
a
that.
huge
And-
reason why they don't
Mhm.
want TikTok to become popular, because they figure out the algorithm to help the content creator and not help business.
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah.
And it's also too, it's not like Instagram where you need a hashtag or anything. You can just post a
No,
video
like
and it will
hashtags
find
mean
you.
shit.
Oh, wow.
There's a,
Unless the businesses were also tailored to your interests.
Yeah.
Like if
Sure.
I was going through and I was seeing
and the
comic
only
book
time
stores,
you see advertisements
give
on
them
TikTok
business.
is your very first video when you log in. It's
Oh,
an
really?
advertisement, and
Yeah,
once
that's it.
you swipe past that, you're just on a roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never.
My
looked at it.
TikTok started off as a lot of twerking girls and big
Mhm.
boobies and butts. They still sneak in, but now it's very like conspiracy theory and fucking ghosts
Oh,
and
okay.
spookiness and cool. Like it's fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a cool plot. It's not just 13-year-olds.
That's why I just.
I don't
was
see
all
one-
14-year-olds talking about pop music.
I don't see one child on my TikTok
Oh wow.
because
Yeah,
that's
I
not
don't
what I look for.
Yeah, yeah.
Mine's just all like, because I started a new one so far. Mine is just all like birds talking. They're like, "What you doing?
Huh.
Yeah.
Doing?"
Yeah.
Or it's just
Or
like,
like mine's a lot of
animals.
dogs too.
Yeah,
a lot of
or
dog
it's just
videos.
like, I went and I cooked my 92-year-old neighbor dinner, and look how cute he is. And it's just like, and then
Yeah.
it's things that just like make me feel good and want to
Oh,
cry.
okay.
yeah, it's really not that bad of a platform.
I end up getting a lot of people who have like, they do like face paint and
Mhm.
stuff, but like they'll do like crazy over the top stuff. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
that's what it's all like special effects stuff.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
I have a
So
few
like
of
I'm
those,
sure
too.
there's like a whole wrestling
I'm sure
fucking
probably is, yeah.
community on
wrestling ones.
TikTok.
The way I see it is like I just don't have time for more than
Right.
one social media
Yeah.
thing.
Literally,
I
you just
understand
go
that.
on and you
I
scroll,
hardly
and
ever
there's
look up my Instagram.
there's 60-second
Mm.
like 60-second videos.
I don't got the time. I'd rather
Yeah.
do something else.
You
I'd rather do something else than look at my phone all day.
Yeah. I
That makes
get
sense.
behind that, but
Yeah.
I actually find myself more on that than I do any other. But
Really?
I don't engage. I just watch people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Just sit in bed and I'm like,
I know. Oh my God, there is a dark side because I have wasted hours on TikTok.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Oh, you can definitely get.
It's very.
It
It was
caters
like
to what you want
Vine.
to see.
Yeah.
It caters to what you want to see and it keeps you there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not on it.
It's
Facebook is mine.
I feel it's more entertaining than like Facebook. All I see is just fucking people fighting each other.
Yeah,
And-
it's
and-
exhausting.
And TikTok is like, oh, this is stuff like if I start seeing political stuff, I just fucking like I'm sick of
And then
it,
you never see it again.
and you never see it again.
Yeah.
That's good.
like-
Mine's not too bad.
I do
Facebook's
like
not
some of
too
the
bad.
ads though, because a lot of times the ads like, "Hey, you like this comic, Barry?" And they go, I find the store, and they go,
Yeah.
and the one's like, "Hey, the guy emailed me when I bought a book personally. He said thank you for buying it. He
Oh,
said,
that's
cool.
Please join our
Nice.
group
Yeah.
and post pictures and
Aw.
stuff." I'm like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
Facebook.
not all the ads are bad. Sometimes
Facebook,
they're
I
wacky.
just fucking
Like one time I got one for fishing. I'm like, I've never fished ever. Like,
Oh.
why am I getting a fishing ad?
You looked up
Going
Aquaman.
fishing
Yeah.
this year.
yeah, Facebook. I just fucking scroll. Just I can't.
That's
I
why
can't
the people
deal
like,
with
yeah,
it.
Twitter and stuff. I don't got the
I
time.
don't. I have it, but I don't.
I gotta
use
figure
it.
Twitter out. I'm doing.
I
not
I mean,
hard,
I
it's
understand
fine.
I hate it, but I do
hate
it
it
for
too.
the podcast.
I
I'm
don't
just
like it
trying.
either.
You know what
trying
you
to-
need to do? You need to turn off the share all. If
What do
you
you
want to truly learn how to use any of those platforms, right now all of your stuff is share now. So then I have to I'll get a notification saying IWEP posted on Twitter. I click on it and it's a link to Instagram to show me the picture that you posted. But I don't see the photo on Twitter.
Yeah, that's
So you have to make like a separate post
yeah.
with the
Yeah.
same stuff.
I'm trying to be lazy.
No, it's not that it's a lazy thing. 'cause
I'm
a lot
trying
of
to be
people,
lazy.
A lot of people do that, but like if you truly want to learn the platform, turn
Yeah.
that off,
Yeah,
and it'll force you to be like,
and then
I need to figure
move
this out.
my shit to that one.
Yeah.
And physically post it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was hoping like Twitter would carry over to Insta, but it doesn't.
No, Twitter doesn't. Just Facebook.
But I will say this, like
or Instagram.
I have been getting messages from people. Like we were invited to do like a podcast seminar type thing.
Mhm.
Not like a seminar, but like they want to enter our podcast into like this festival
Oh, cool.
where you can win awards and get exposure.
Mhm.
And then I was contacted by a guy who is starting his own like platform type deal.
Did you see the guy with the subscription box that sent message today?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't know how legit that one is.
Yeah, me too. I was like, he sent a lot of messages. I'm like, hey, you didn't ask for any money. You just answer them back. And like, I think blah blah blah. This will work and this will work.
Yeah. So this one guy who messaged me, he's like, hey, I'm starting this platform. And I was like, what was your favorite episode you listened to? And he was like, Bangin' Beers 107. And I was like, that's a real person. That's
Yeah.
not a bot.
Yeah.
Like I thought for sure it was 100% bot. So I started talking to him and he sent me like a link to his YouTube and I watched what he's trying to accomplish.
Mhm.
And the big thing is like from what I got from it, it seems like he's trying to make like an Anchor meets Facebook meets TikTok, but for podcasters.
Oh,
That
okay.
sounds
So
great.
when someone downloads their app, it does like a TikTok thing where it scrolls
You might
through
also like this podcast.
but it'll take 30-second audio
Oh,
or
so like
video
samples.
clips of your thing and say like what we're talking about now, like, and then she fucking did this. And I mean, and people are like, oh, I kind of dig what I want to hear more of that 30-second clip.
That's cool.
Then you click it and it takes you to our podcast page so you can listen to the full episode.
Oh, that's a good idea. Hope it
So
works
that's
out for
like,
him.
and he's been working on this website now for like maybe like 5 years.
Mhm.
And he's been going around in like Facebook groups and communities and stuff that are based around podcasts and listening to people's content and seeing who he feels would be a good niche for his program
Mhm.
and found Bangin' Beers and enjoyed it and then started looking at the network and he's only inviting like 300 to 500 people on this platform and he invited us to do it.
Cool.
That's
I
awesome.
think that's real nice.
So I'm going to give it a shot. Like, so it's crazy. Like I actually booked an interview through TikTok and I didn't I made a video, like a bullshit video. I think it was the video you coming out in the Rumble, PPW.
Okay.
I did like a handful of small videos on TikTok and someone messaged like, oh, your podcast looks cool. Can I come on? And then like we did an interview.
Cool.
Yeah. And it was like something like, I don't know. It's just strange how like these platforms work, but I completely lost where we were.
So we were talking about Hotel Cecil. I just
Yeah.
want to add like one thing that's kind of that I think is another good thing here, like for conspiracy theories and whatnot. When you watch the documentary, I learned that LA has this section, so the LA like government has this section of LA sectioned off for people who are poor, coming out of jail, mentally ill,
Skid Row.
homeless. Yes, it's
Yeah.
very sickening actually. As a therapist, I was quite appalled.
The slums.
Yes, and
they literally just put people.
Well,
Everybody that's like the low, like the Skid Row, and they just say
dump 'em.
What happened is
and they're not allowed to leave. They have to stay there, and they get stuck there.
they got rid of mental hospitals.
Yes,
And then kicked everyone out of the mental hospitals.
halfway homes as
And
well.
they just and then shut down halfway homes and just like
dumped them.
Pretty much said, here's a rundown neighborhood we don't use anymore. Live on the streets.
Wow.
And they're allowed to openly live on the streets and pretty much run like amok and do whatever they want.
Now the problem with that is
Sick.
because they let it happen so long in Skid Row, some people who are still resorting to that because they have no means of making it, and people make bad choices, whether it be business or drugs or anything. They don't want to stay in Skid Row because it became unsafe.
Mm-hmm. Very unsafe.
So what LA is turning into is Skid Row is just branching out all over LA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to the point where like LA, like people are like, oh, I'm gonna go to LA and I'm gonna go see. Like I had a friend who just left LA. He goes, dude, the main drive of LA is tents everywhere.
Yeah.
And
it's like Apocalypse City.
Yes.
Yes.
It's absolutely
Fallout.
terrifying.
And like people are like,
And nobody cares.
Nope.
Nobody
They just
fucking
let you
cares.
go.
I mean, the government, like obviously there are human beings that care about them.
Yeah.
But
Of
I mean,
course.
like, but it's just kind of like, yeah, this is the new normal.
and there's a whole like under thing of the people where they go inside like tunnels, like this like they go into the tunnel system and live there.
Yeah.
Like it's the homeless epidemic in LA is insane. And we have all these abandoned buildings that aren't being used. Like can we fucking put them in like
Make a homeless shelter.
uh,
They did say at one point there was like a lot of services there to help them, and that's why they were putting them there. But I don't think those
but the services
are there anymore.
the services
they're
are there,
overwhelmed.
but it's like one of those things where if you don't, it's like a first come first serve. So if you don't come at a certain time, you don't get a meal that night.
Yeah.
So then some people just like, well, fuck it, I'm not gonna get that meal. So I stop because the services are this big and the problem is this big,
Yeah.
and not everyone can go and take advantage of those services. And it's LA is a really rough place right now, really rough. That's why like a lot of the rich elites and the famous people and the celebrities and everyone's leaving LA because their dream paradise that they moved to is turning into poverty, and instead of putting their money into trying to fix the problem, they're all going to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all the famous people are going to Texas.
Well, all the famous people, and a lot of the majority of the business owners that have like businesses in California right now are literally just also because of all like the crazy things going on and also taxes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons.
Charging a lot in taxes, and it's not going into communities to make this problem go away.
Yeah.
Or fix it.
Yep, absolutely. So they're literally just uprooting and like moving to places like Texas.
I didn't know that.
LA can turn into a fucking like Mad Max, and like
It's gonna be Fallout.
all businesses leaving. They don't really shoot movies in, like all the Hollywood and all that stuff is leaving. Like they're like, this is not.
It's like it's the start of the decline of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Inside Out.
Yeah, and they're all going to like Texas, Colorado, and
Georgia,
Canada.
Georgia. They're not even going to like New York and stuff anymore. Like they're like, I'm not going to
Because New York's kind of like
It's
the
too
same
crowded.
thing.
It's a little
New
too
York's
crowded.
turning into the same thing.
The only reason New York's homeless problem isn't as big as LA is because it gets cold here, and you can't live in a tent in fucking New York with 2 feet of snow on you. You know what I mean?
I also don't think that they did what LA did and just like dumping people in one area. I don't think that they did that. I didn't see any.
Also,
I mean, at least
lot of-
LA like did it on like a grand scale where they're just like, oh, you're just getting out of jail, you're homeless. Okay, here's like your mini like reservation that you can just.
Well, also another
Yeah,
thing that
so-
was big in the Northeast area was they would give homeless people bus tickets to LA.
Which is another conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't know
Talking
that
about
part.
They're like,
that.
here's
They
a-
didn't discuss that.
They're like, here's a bus ticket to LA, and they're like,
And then they just bomb LA.
they're like, it's warm there. Like that's been a big thing too, where people like neighborhoods would be like, oh, here's a bus ticket to Florida, here's a bus ticket here, like go somewhere warm, like because
Wow.
being homeless here is going to be really cold in a couple months. Just get out of here. Like,
Awful.
I mean, it's not. It's obviously you're just putting your problem in another location. But if I'm homeless and I'm like, fuck, man, like wintertime's coming, and they're like, hey, we don't want you to be homeless here. You want to be homeless in LA? I'd be like, yeah, it's warmer.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, it's
you don't gotta worry about that.
It's one less element I have to worry about. Like, I would probably take them over their bus ticket. Be a long drive with no food though, but it's rough.
Yeah.
But we have services that keep people rich and fucking. That's why I don't know. I try not to complain about being broke, and because people have it way fucking worse than I do.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
yeah, it's rough. Yeah, I have to check out that documentary.
Yeah, so they think that maybe she got mixed up with some people there and got some, because there's like a lot of drug sales and like a lot of prostitution. So maybe she got some drugs. There's a lot of different theories about her. And
Well,
then
her
this
death
would
is weird too.
Her death is very weird.
Because
Incredibly weird.
where they found their body,
Makes no
supposedly they couldn't figure out how she even got in there.
Yeah, in the water tank.
Yeah, how do
Like-
you get in there?
Because the water tank, like the
There's no
lid
manhole
for
to
it-
get in.
There's no
Mm-mm.
manhole to get in, and it isn't like the only way in is just like you have to be lifted up, and it's like fucking how many tons?
Yeah, because there was a water tank on top of the roof, like you see in
Yeah.
the movies,
Mhm.
on legs, you know.
Oh,
And
one of
people,
those.
here's the
You need keys to get in certain places as well.
How they found out because the water was a little funny.
yeah,
Yeah, people were drinking tainted water.
people were drinking and showering with water that a body was rotting in.
Yeah.
Oh God, I wanted to vomit when I watched that. I watched this before bed last night. I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, that's
And
gonna
then
be.
you're like itching the whole night.
So if you're listening to Patreon, you're getting a preview of what we're going to talk about next
Which,
episode.
let's be honest. I mean, like people that use city water, sorry to tell you, it's real shit. Like
Yeah.
there's stuff
There's
in
some
there.
yeah.
But city
why
water,
Bottled water.
city water goes through a little bit of a filtration process. If you're getting it from a
Just a
tank
little-
on the roof with a dead body in
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
there's
Just
no
that condensed, concentrated
And
body.
Listen,
Pretty
Brita,
decomped
Brita
at this
got
point.
this.
yeah.
Put a Brita filter on the shower and
Yeah,
you
you'll
know,
be all right.
spout and you're good, right?
It's a hotel sponsored by Brita.
She wasn't that big. I
Yeah.
mean, it's probably withered away. already.
She's and
She was
the stereotype. She's
found
Asian, so you'll be
19
thirsty
days.
15 minutes later.
Yeah, just drink through it and you'll be
day
all right.
19 after she was missing. She was found. 19 days. I
Yeah.
think that she was killed somewhere else and then thrown in the water tank. That's
Yeah, I
my
believe it.
personal. That's my personal theory.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Because
God,
something that is like it's so crazy. It's just like, yeah, you don't just show up just waterlogged, like oopsie, like nah, it was
Yeah.
fucking planted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll do our research and find out and talk about it next week.
Oh,
I'm pumped
yeah,
about
lots
it.
of
Maybe she
theories.
died in Clinton Road.
Yeah,
and
she
it just
did.
appeared in
That's
the tank.
what happened.
Yeah,
And they
she
gave
got
her-
teleported because there's also
Yeah.
a portal.
The portal.
The
Yeah.
ghost
Maybe
dogs
that's
took
where
her.
the castle goes.
Yeah.
Holy
Just goes to
shit,
LA.
Nikolai figured it out.
The elevator goes to the castle, but only on October 3rd. I covered the
Mhm.
reverse.
Bust. We fucking
Tune into the Clinton Road episode to understand.
Yes. Actually, the buttons are explained.
So I was gonna say let's turn to your books here, but I feel like these books would be fun if we need filler stories for the other episodes because like that's that could be a topic, you know what I mean, that we're kind of going into here.
This
So,
whole story,
like if
the
you
whole book. I mean,
like you could pick apart that book and find topics.
yeah.
But I think
Oh, there's a bunch of short stories too. There's all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff in here.
does anyone anyone have a short story they want to read or are we
I mean, I'm not gonna read it, but I'll tell you what it was about.
go ahead.
So it's the.
I mean, I told my ghost story, my personal one, so I feel like I shouldn't read
Oh.
a story yet out of that one. So
Well, I got the Pittsburgh Green Man, about this guy.
Green Man.
turn into your microphone a little bit.
Well, it's hard to do when I have to open a book.
Hey,
All right. So we got the Pittsburgh Green Man. So there's this guy who gets electrocuted. They're not entirely sure. There's some references of him getting a kite stuck in electric wire that fries him.
You
But
have a fucking key tied to it. What the?
yeah, I don't,
Ben Franklin revisited.
yeah. But either way, I really liked this story because there was two sides to it where it was like it's like a ghost story, and then the title on the other side says Green Man Lives.
Oh wait, I heard about this. This is the guy that got electrocuted when he was young, right? And then he lived his whole life, and he used to walk up the road at night and stuff like that.
So I think that's more of like the real,
Yeah, the real
Story
Green Man.
part?
Yeah.
yeah. But the fake version, after being electrocuted, his face got all deformed. He has a big hole in the side of his cheek because the spark hit him, and like,
John Hex.
yeah. And there's things in here about like how his arm is all messed up and stuff too. And people say that if you go to the tunnel or near the tunnel or where it happened, there's a tunnel. And if you go to that tunnel and you turn your lights off, you see this glowing green
Yeah, he
person.
glows.
And if he walks up and touches your car, the electricity has stayed with him. So if he touches your car, it won't start again, kind of deal. But then you have the real life story
Like a fucking Scooby Doo villain.
where there are
Well,
people.
like
Minor
Shocker.
49er
Remember
movie.
Shocker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I was reading this, I thought of Shocker.
Which has a great soundtrack.
It does.
It's all heavy metal. A lot of Megadeth.
No Creed, no Nickelback.
No, they weren't around, so they
Oh.
couldn't, if they wanted to, they couldn't have gotten it at the time.
Oh, all right.
Steel
Uh,
Panther has a song called Shocker.
Yeah, they do.
Stop it.
Wait, who does?
Steel Panther.
Don't even start it.
From Anchorman.
No, like the band
That's
Steel
Sex
Panther.
Panther.
Oh, Sex.
They're very
Panther,
close.
yes.
They're very similar.
I was like, okay, yeah. Sorry.
You know what the
What we're
term
not-
shocker is?
No.
It's this.
It's a sex thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I get
What's it?
where
You
we're
know
going.
what's it mean? I just want you to say your voice.
I'm not doing it. I'm not falling into it.
Doing the pink one and the stink.
I fucking hate you. I was wondering. I was just like, can we derail so he doesn't fucking say it? Because I just think that's the most god awful phrase.
Go on, Nikolai.
Anyway, so in the real story of this guy,
That's why you paid this content.
they say that they heard this story from the Pittsburgh Historical Society and that his name is Ray Robinson. And the interesting part is, from the sounds of the story, he's still alive because people bring him beer and cigarettes just to watch him blow smoke out at the side of this hole in his face.
It's fucked up.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he
Like, we have Netflix. Why are we still fucking?
Yeah.
I
Dude,
mean,
blow a hole
Tony,
in your
this
fucking hole in
book
your face.
was written in what, 2006?
Yeah,
So I'm sure
he's dead
maybe
now.
there's people not going and being like, here's some beer. Let me see the cigarette trick. Like,
He's like, check this out.
Yeah.
He's just like outside of a dive bar. Hey kid, you want to see me blow smoke
I'm a
out of
green
my
man.
hole?
There was a podcast that covered him recently I listened to. I think it was called Cryptids and Conspiracy.
He's like this.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, that's a cool trick.
maybe
it's
that's
almost
how
like
they
dice.
got the whatchamacallit from Beetlejuice. Juna or whatever has
Yeah.
smokes through her neck.
Mm.
Maybe
Yeah.
it was part inspiration.
Interesting.
Lovely. Lovely.
It is a cool one. They actually did like half an episode about that.
I'm so curious what's going on with grannies. We gotta do
I
that.
have it bookmarked.
Yeah, I'm really curious.
That
Go ahead, Andy. Read yours.
Beautiful
Or do
statue.
we have to? Do you want to wrap it up? Because
It's up to you.
I
You,
think-
you want to read one?
Yeah, I just found this one right here. It's called the Skull Tree. Right, so right here is a tree.
Oh.
It's located. I'm gonna read about it here.
Oh, I
Oh,
love
looks
that.
neat. Look at that cool tree.
So, this is local legends part of it. Beware the tree. There are so many trees in Pennsylvania that the entire state was named after them. Sylvania means forest land, so it's hardly surprising that the state also has a fair share of creepy tree stories. So probably the most famous tree in the state is the Skull Tree on Devil's Road.
Of course
One,
it is.
yeah, one and the same road we were just talking about, not us as in Clinton Road, but it is a misshapen growth on an embankment along one of the road's more treacherous curves. Erosion has exposed the roots, which look like an enormous human skull or the skeletal fingers of a hand clawing at the earth. Its grotesque trunk has earned the tree many names, including Skull Tree, Devil's Tree, and Baby's Cradle, which actually kind of sounds nice.
What kind of cradle?
Babies?
Oh,
Babies.
I was
Get there.
thinking of Baby
Yeah.
in Schitt's Creek Baby.
They have him
And-
call.
And it has attracted
Baby.
many tales as well, including one about an infant sacrificed left among the roots. In a gruesome nod to this tale, you can sometimes find
That
de-
lost its charm,
Yeah,
didn't it, ladies?
Oh God.
Gonna
you can
Hold-
sometimes find
my baby.
decapitated
baby.
baby dolls cradled within the tree's bony fingers.
Oh my God.
So there's the baby in the tree. There is a tree with a hole in along the road. This is people saying, and a mother put her baby in it and left it for dead. If you stop your car, kill the
Oh.
engine, and turn the lights off, they say that you can hear the baby crying still.
Aw.
Every night I got close to the place, I'd have horrible dreams that seemed all too realistic. That was from Dan A. They have some people like talk about their experiences. The Skull Tree awes me. My friend pointed out a tree growing in the roadside behind us. Half its roots were exposed by erosion, and when he put the car in reverse, the lights created quite a display in the shadows of the roots. The roots took the form of a 5-foot-high skull. I had more of a sense of awe than fear looking at it.
There you go,
It's a
Andy.
5-foot skull. Yeah.
Wow.
Why
So
would you be afraid?
amazing.
I need to Photoshop the guy from Crystal Cave looking at a 5-foot skull.
Yes,
Like,
do it. Do it.
But it's weird that this is a tree that just it looks cool, but like
I don't- I don't see a skull.
legends become trees roots, fucking roots.
Is that the
It looks
show's
like
new
it's just
mascot?
like
Is he coming
pointing.
back
that
now?
guy
I'll bring him every week.
Mothy.
This is my
That's
baby.
Mothy.
There's my baby.
Girl in the tree. This is the last person that said it. This is by Hal Smith. There's a tree near Jersey Town where a girl supposedly hung herself. When people
Ugh.
go there, they say they have been followed, chased away by a black Jeep. So maybe they bought
Whoa.
the same dealership that sold Giles his black car.
Yes, yes, the selling haunted
Once
cars.
I went there, and there seemed to be a car following me on the road, which had a lot of intersections. for fueling it.
We were stuck there for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So I slowed down, and it slowed down too. Oh, I stopped and got out. Why? I went over to the truck.
Oh my
And there
god.
was an old guy inside.
Was it Giles?
He asked me what I was doing there, and he told me not to make any trouble. He asked me a couple of times if I was a ghost. Hal Smith tells a wacky story. I think he read about Giles.
I did read that one today, and I was like, "That's really interesting." That the guy following you is like, "Are you a ghost?" Like, why the fuck would you follow?
I'd have been like,
Because he's stuck.
yes, I am.
It just
Absolutely, I am. You have to answer it like Jim. Absolutely, I am.
kind of
Absolutely, I
mind blowing that this Devil's Road, which apparently is the Clinton Road of Pennsylvania, it's like, oh, there's a tree with roots. Oh, a ghost. Like, it's just a fucking
It's pointing at
tree.
me.
Let me see your
Look
book.
at how it's
I mean,
pointing.
it looks cool.
Yeah, it does. And it's like
But, like,
pointing at you.
Oh, you got the $1,000 card cover
The
version.
Yeah,
thick
well,
boy.
that was
Yeah, he got
Back
the
in
hard cover.
2006
So yeah, that's the skull tree. That's
at Book Fair.
devil worship and dead animals. I'm just reading some of the things around this road. When you see the whites of their eyes, chased by Satan on his very own road, chased off
Wow.
Devil's Road. So apparently, Devil's
There it
Road is Clinton Road.
I literally just.
Is there
flipped
albinos on
Yeah,
there?
the
Oh, I
prob-
have the
I was flipping through the
Druids?
albinos
The
of Ghost
thing.
Mountain, but yeah, the eerie death stump of Mill Creek. Oh, is that Mill Creek? Like the R?
Is that around us?
No, it's near Erie.
No, that's a long drive.
We'll have to look into that. Maybe we could do the same exact podcast on Devil's Road.
that was the
Which road is the more superior
Yeah,
road?
which one is more scary, Clinton Road or Devil's Road?
We'll give it our grade.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So
That's why I
it's
bookmarked that.
a cool book here, Weird Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I was
Um,
thinking of
I
getting
recommend
it
if
too.
you like
Nothing
anything
about
weird.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting
grannies?
it.
No, it's in there. I didn't bookmark that though.
And then that's the Mutter
I
Museum.
didn't have an.
Anybody ever go to the Mutter Museum in Philadelphia?
The what museum?
Which one?
Mutter Museum. It has like all kinds of like
Oh,
deformed
no.
skulls and stuff like that.
No, but I want
Oh.
to
Medical anomalies.
Oh,
I can't remember.
Yeah, a couple friends.
I
were
didn't
there.
even know
Sounds
there
really
was
cool.
something there like
Yeah.
I
that.
can't remember if I did or not. I've been to so many museums there. I think I was supposed to go, but didn't.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a page or two.
Oh, that's just okay.
Yeah, it's roadside attraction.
The page you want for your story was 173.
He's looking for a granny's. Right?
Oh, Granny Apples. It's the roadside attractions.
Yeah.
As you pay.
It's just like, oh, it's a giant statue.
There it is.
So it would be. Oh, you find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does mention Frackville though.
Oh, look at that. We're in the book, everybody.
There's no Pottsville. I didn't. And not that I've seen so far. There is Jim Thorpe. The jail is in here.
Yeah, we saw that.
The
He
shoe
opened-
house. Have you ever seen the shoe house? Which isn't
They just talk about how creepy
ghostly.
the
It's just
statue.
it's just a shoe. And some other. There's a lot of cool stuff. I've only had it for a few hours, so I got to look at it a little bit. But
Yeah, it just talks about how creepy the statue looks. There's
no,
nothing-
it's creepy. You know?
All right. Well, I know we kind of did plugs. Do you want to plug again?
Sure. Bewitched and Clover Designs, which is my graphic design page. I do logos and other kinds of art and personalized portraits, and also La Zingara Tarot, which I do my tarot readings and stuff.
Nikolai.
Next.
Go get that Fright Rag shirt. It's only available this Valentine's Day weekend. My buddy
And it-
Valentine.
Check out the Weird in PA and the Weird PA and Weird New Jersey books and Weird Massachusetts. I think there's more states too, but that's the ones I've seen so far on Amazon. But don't get that paperback because it's going to cost $1,000.
We're in school county.
Yeah, I wish there was one.
We could make one.
Bree.
Okay, so I'm going to do like a little piece like I do on Not Cool in High School, nerdy fashion. I don't have a term for it
This will be
show.
on the Instagram and Facebook. We'll take photos and put it.
So what I have is something called moon glow jewelry, and here's what it looks like.
It's,
I
it's-
love Moonglow.
Yeah, it's not going
I
to
do too.
autofocus.
Uh,
So we'll just take the photo
Too
of it.
small.
Okay. I don't know if you want to try showing it. So moon glow jewelry is really cool. You can get it in necklaces, bracelets, I think possibly earrings now, different forms. And what it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's not going to focus.
What it is you pick a date that's really important to you. I have two versions. This one here with the fairy is actually my birthday.
Is that a full moon?
Yes.
Born on full moon.
Yeah, born on a full moon.
Solar and lunar opposites in our chart.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know if I was
right.
born on a full moon or not.
So I picked a fairy because, as you all know, that's why I'm a fairy.
Heat a fairy.
I love fairies. So for my birthday, I did a fairy, and then I also have my anniversary with Mark. That's a little heart, and you can pick your setting, and then you just pick whatever day is really important to you, and you get the exact. I think they ask you for a little bit more information too, and then they will tell you the moon of that day, whether it's like full, new, partial, whatever. and they give you like the picture of your moon that day, and they put it in the setting of your choice, the color of your choice, like silver, rose gold, gold, and you get to wear it in some cool jewelry.
So what if it's a night that there's like little to no moon?
I guess you get the new
Do
moon.
you get like
right?
a very, very tiny stone?
Yeah, so you would get
Or
whatever.
different color stone, maybe?
No, like it'll just be like if you have like a
Like if
very,
it was
like,
a crescent, I
sliver
would
of moon.
assume you actually
Yeah.
see the crescent moon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, you get the
So-
crescent. Yeah,
Yeah, so if it's a
But-
new moon,
you get the
there's
new
nothing.
moon.
Right.
You get the new moon.
If you get the new moon, it'll just look like this but darker,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
like how a new moon looks.
Yeah, it's a lot of
That's
fun.
cool though.
Yeah, it's really cool. And the people who run it are real nice. I actually got my 2 pieces at one of the last Wizard World Comic Cons I went to. So I'm really missing Comic Con. But yeah, they're a great company to work with. So I highly recommend.
There we go.
Very nice people.
Check out the rest of the network. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to the Patreon. Feedback, man. There's a comment section there right there on Patreon. Let us know if you like it. If you're hating it, you're like, I mean, if you're not watching it and you're just donating the money, that's awesome too. Like I said, we'll give us some time. We'll get the merch things going back up. But thank you for your continued support. We love you guys more than you know, and helping us do this. You know, feedback's always really appreciated. Just letting, even if it's small, like, hey, just listen to the episode. It was fun. It helps. But that'll do it. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everyone.